Today, I want to talk about the book called Why Men Love by Sherry Argov. This book is targeted towards women who want to navigate the complexities of modern dating and relationships with confidence and self-assuredness. Whether you're single, in a relationship, or somewhere in between, this book can help you in boosting confidence, understanding relationship dynamics, effective communication, financial independence, renewing the spark, assertiveness and self-respect, and understanding men's perspectives. It's divided into 10 chapters, each addressing a specific aspect of relationships and personal development. My name is Junaid, and let's dive into this fascinating journey of redefining what it means to be a bitch in the most empowering sense of the word. Chapter 1. From Doormat to Dream Girl. Why settle for being a doormat when you can be a dream girl, right? This chapter emphasizes the importance of acting like a prize to turn a man into a believer. It's all about stepping up from being someone who always says yes and doesn't stand up for themselves, to being a person who commands respect and admiration. The key here is about finding a balance. You don't have to be mean or rude. It's more about having a strong sense of self-worth. Think about it this way. If you're always available, always agreeable, and never put your own needs first, you're like a doormat. People might like you, sure, but they won't necessarily respect you. This chapter of the book is a wake-up call to stop bending over backward for others, especially in relationships. It's not about playing games, it's about setting healthy boundaries. Imagine you have plans, but your date cancels at the last minute. Instead of moping, you go out and have fun on your own. That's the dream girl attitude. You value your time and won't let anyone treat it as less important. The cool thing is, when you start respecting yourself more, others will too. It's like magic, but it's actually just healthy self-esteem. You don't have to change who you are, you just need to believe that you're a prize worth winning. This mindset shift is a game changer in relationships. You'll find that you attract more respect and genuine interest when you value yourself. It's not just about finding love. It's about finding a respectful, balanced relationship where you're valued as much as you value your partner. Chapter 2. Why Men Prefer Bitches. Ever wondered why some men seem to be drawn to women who are assertive and confident, often labeled as bitches? This chapter dives into this intriguing question. It focuses on cracking the code of what every nice girl needs to know about men's preferences. It's not about being mean or unkind. It's about being strong, independent, and self-assured. This part of the book is a revelation for those who've been playing it too safe or too nice in the dating game. The idea is that men are often more attracted to women who have their own lives, interests, and opinions. It's about having a sense of self that isn't entirely defined by the relationship. For instance, let's say you love painting, but you drop it all to spend time with your guy. That might seem devoted, but it actually makes you less interesting and more predictable. The book suggests that keeping up with your hobbies and interests makes you more intriguing and attractive. It's also about not always saying yes. If you disagree with something, it's okay to voice your opinion. This doesn't mean picking fights, but rather not being afraid to express yourself. It's about having the confidence to set boundaries and the strength to maintain them. This approach creates a dynamic where you're seen as an equal, not just someone who goes along with everything. In short, Chapter 2 challenges the traditional nice girl narrative and proposes that being a bitch, in the sense of being confident, independent, and self-respecting, can actually be a magnet for genuine, respectful love. It's about being true to yourself, and in doing so, attracting someone who appreciates the real, unfiltered you. Chapter 3. The Candy Store. Have you ever thought of your feminine and sexual powers as a candy store? That's the metaphor used in this chapter. This section is all about embracing and using your femininity and sexuality as powerful tools in relationships. But here's the twist. It's not about using them in a manipulative way, but in a manner that boosts your confidence and allure. The candy store analogy is pretty neat. It suggests that what you have to offer is valuable and desirable, like an array of sweet treats in a candy store. The key is not to give away everything at once. Just like how a candy store wouldn't give away all its goods for free, you shouldn't either. It's about showing just enough to pique interest and keep them coming back for more. For example, suppose you're on a date. Instead of laying all your cards on the table, reveal bits about yourself gradually. This creates intrigue and makes you more desirable. It's like getting a taste of the candy, not the whole jar. Also, it talks about the power of mystery and leaving some things to the imagination. This doesn't mean playing games or being dishonest, but rather not oversharing or being too available. It's about maintaining a sense of mystery that keeps others intrigued and wanting to know more about you. In essence, Chapter 3 is about valuing yourself and what you bring to a relationship. It's a reminder that your feminine and sexual qualities are unique and powerful, and when used wisely, they can make you irresistible in the most positive and self-affirming way. Chapter 4. Dumb like a Fox. Chapter 4 takes this old saying and spins it into a modern relationship strategy. It's about being cleverly strategic in how you handle your relationship, making your partner feel in control while you're actually steering the ship. Now, this isn't about deception or manipulation. It's more about smartly managing the dynamics of your relationship. Imagine you want to go to a particular restaurant for dinner, but instead of directly suggesting it, you subtly hint at it and let your partner think it was their idea. This is a classic dumb like a fox move. You get what you want, but your partner feels like they're in charge. It's a win-win. The book emphasizes the importance of not always being direct or confrontational. Sometimes, it's more effective to influence things from behind the scenes. It's like being the director of a play who lets the actors think they're improvising. This part also talks about the balance of power in relationships. If you're always overtly controlling, it can lead to resistance or power struggles. But by being dumb like a fox, you can guide the relationship smoothly without those struggles. It's about picking your battles and knowing when to take a step back. In a nutshell, Chapter 4 is about being smart and savvy in love. It encourages you to think tactically, understand the subtleties of your relationship, and use your smarts to create a harmonious and balanced partnership. Chapter 5. Jumping through hoops like a circus poodle. Ever felt like you're doing too much to please someone? Kinda like a circus poodle jumping through hoops. That's what Chapter 5 is all about. It's a wake-up call to stop overextending yourself in a relationship and instead focus on maintaining your dignity and self-worth. This part of the book really hits home on how women often bend over backward to make things work, sometimes at the cost of their own happiness. For instance, you might find yourself always adjusting your schedule, your preferences, and even your values to fit into someone else's life. But here's the thing, relationships are a two-way street. If you're the only one making all the effort, that's not fair, is it? The book suggests that instead of being the one who's always performing, it's important to step back and evaluate if your partner is also putting in equal effort. It's about striking a balance where both partners contribute equally to the relationship. When you stop jumping through endless hoops, you set a standard that your time, emotions, and needs are just as important. Also, the book emphasizes the importance of not losing yourself in the process of being in a relationship. It's easy to get caught up in trying to be perfect or what you think your partner wants, but true happiness comes from being authentic and loved for who you really are. In short, Chapter 5 is a reminder to value yourself and not fall into the trap of over-pleasing, ensuring a healthier and more balanced relationship. Chapter 6. Nagging no more. Ever found yourself nagging your partner over something, only to realize it's getting you nowhere? This chapter tackles this common relationship problem head-on. It's all about finding more effective ways to communicate and get what you need without falling into the nagging trap. The book explains that nagging often happens when we feel like we're not being heard or our needs aren't being met. But here's the catch. Constant nagging can push your partner away instead of bringing them closer. It's like if you keep asking someone to clean up their room. The more you nag, the less they want to do it. So, what's the solution? The book suggests focusing on clear, calm communication. Instead of repeating the same request over and over, it's better to explain why it's important to you. Let's say you want more help around the house. Instead of nagging, you could express how sharing chores makes you feel more valued and supported. Also, it talks about the importance of timing. Bringing up an issue when both of you are relaxed and not stressed can make a big difference. It's about choosing the right moment to have those important conversations. Chapter 6 is really about changing the way we approach these sticky situations. It encourages taking a step back, understanding why we feel the need to nag, and then finding a more constructive way to communicate. This approach not only reduces frustration, but also helps in building a stronger, more understanding relationship. Chapter 7. The Other Team's Secret Playbook. Ever wished you could peek into the other team's playbook, especially when it comes to understanding men? This chapter is like getting that insider look. It's about revealing the things men think, but often don't say, giving women a better understanding of how to navigate relationships. This part of the book is like a treasure trove of insights. It covers a range of topics, from how men view commitment to their thoughts on independence and a partner. For instance, you might be surprised to learn that many men actually respect and are attracted to women who have their own goals and interests. It's not about being aloof, but about being a complete person outside of the relationship. Another interesting point is how men perceive neediness versus self-sufficiency. The book shows that being overly reliant can sometimes push men away, while being self-sufficient, within reason, can draw them closer. This doesn't mean you shouldn't seek support or love, but it's about finding a healthy balance where you're not entirely dependent on your partner for your happiness or self-worth. Chapter 7 also touches on communication styles, highlighting how men and women often interpret things differently. Understanding these differences can help avoid misunderstandings and foster better communication. In essence, this part is about understanding the unspoken rules and perspectives in the dating game from a man's point of view. It's a guide to help women navigate relationships with a clearer understanding of what might be going on in their partner's head. Chapter 8. Keeping your pink slip. Ever thought about how having your own money can change the game in a relationship? That's what Chapter 8 is all about. It's a powerful message on the importance of financial independence for women in relationships. This isn't just about earning your own money, but about the confidence and power that comes with it. Imagine you're on a date, and you can comfortably pick up the tab if you want to. That sense of independence isn't just impressive, it's empowering. This chapter delves into how holding your own financially gives you a voice and a choice in your relationship. It's not about not needing anyone. It's about having the ability to support yourself, which brings a different dynamic to your interactions. The book also tackles the issue of financial dependence and how it can skew the balance in a relationship. When one person holds the financial reins, it can sometimes lead to a power imbalance. But when you have your own financial stability, you're more likely to be seen and treated as an equal. Keeping your pink slip is a call to all women to prioritize their financial independence. It's about understanding that having control over your finances means having control over your choices. You're less likely to tolerate unacceptable behavior and more likely to make decisions that are right for you. In essence, this part of the book emphasizes that financial power is a key aspect of personal power. It encourages women to take charge of their finances, not just for the sake of money, but for the sake of their own empowerment and freedom in a relationship. Chapter 9. How to Renew the Mental Challenge. Ever feel like your relationship is on autopilot and you're just going through the motions? Chapter 9 is all about shaking things up and bringing back that exciting spark that can fade over time. This part of the book is a guide to re-energizing your relationship with fresh energy and interest. It starts with a simple but powerful idea. Instead of waiting for your partner to make things exciting, take the initiative. The chapter emphasizes the importance of focusing on yourself first. When you develop your own interests and passions, you become more interesting to your partner. For instance, if you start a new hobby or revisit an old one, it not only makes you happier, but also adds a new dimension to your relationship. Then, there's the part about altering routines. It's easy to get stuck in a rut, doing the same things every day. The book suggests mixing things up, whether it's trying a new restaurant, planning a surprise date, or even just changing your usual weekend routine. Small changes can make a big difference. Another key aspect is humor. Remembering to laugh together, not taking things too seriously, and bringing lightness to your interactions can reignite the joy in your relationship. How to renew the mental challenge is essentially about keeping the mental and emotional aspects of your relationship lively and engaging. It's a reminder that relationships require effort and creativity, and that maintaining the mental connection is just as important as the physical one. Chapter 10: The New and Improved Bitch. Ever wondered what it means to be a bitch in the best possible way? This chapter is all about redefining this term from something negative to a badge of strength and self-respect. This final part of the book is a guide for women who tend to be too nice and often find themselves taken for granted. It's about standing your ground in a healthy, positive way. Imagine you're in a situation where you're being pushed to do something you're uncomfortable with. The new and improved bitch knows how to say no without feeling guilty. She understands her worth and isn't afraid to assert her needs and preferences. This chapter isn't about being mean or aggressive. Instead, it's about being assertive and confident. It's about not compromising your values and standards just to please someone else. For instance, if you value honesty and your partner is being less than truthful, it's about having the courage to address the issue head-on, rather than brushing it under the carpet. The book also emphasizes the importance of balance. It's not about swinging to the extreme of being overly demanding or harsh. It's about finding that sweet spot where you're respected and your needs are met, while also being considerate of your partner's feelings and needs. In essence, the new and improved bitch is about empowerment. It encourages women to embrace their strength, speak their minds, and maintain their dignity in relationships, all while being fair and compassionate. It's a call to be the best version of yourself in a relationship and beyond. Why Men Love Bitches presents a provocative yet empowering guide for women in the realm of dating and relationships. Each of the 10 chapters offers a unique perspective, challenging traditional notions and encouraging women to embrace their strength, independence, and self-worth. Overall, the book offers insightful, practical advice for women to navigate the complexities of modern relationships with confidence, balance, and a strong sense of self.